It's time to talk about what I'm reading for the Booked for the Summer Reading Challenge. We are monsters. We give and we take. Hey Bookish Babes, and welcome to my book nook. If you're new around here, the name's Rainy. I read all types of books, primarily fantasy romance, so if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. Now, I am participating in the lovely Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy's Booked for the Summer Reading Challenge, which is basically just a fun little way to read books over the summer. Romantasy themed, of course, and there are 10 different prompts. So I will be reading 10 different books. I will be doing hard mode, which means that I also have to hook them up with the 10 different challenges that there are. And so I'm gonna just talk through what books I'm gonna be reading. If you hear cutting of scissors, my son is cutting something right now. Anyway, I did pick books that I either needed to read in the summer for different reasons or Villains and Vixens reads. I did not have time to add extra books that I had no business reading, okay? So with that, let's just talk about the 10 books that I'm going to be reading for this challenge. And hopefully you will see some blogs come out with me finishing this challenge. So the first one is an arranged fling turned more, basically an arranged marriage. And I do have a book that I already started in soft DNF'd, but I'm gonna try again because I want to be able to review it for NetGalley. And that is A Fate, Fortune, and Fire by Hazel McBride. I did get the audio and I heard that it makes it a lot more bearable and easy to get through if you listen on audio. I feel like that's already setting me up for failure, saying that it's like easier to get through, but I'm gonna try my best, okay? It has dragons. It has all the buzzwords that I should like. I just feel like it was a little clunky in the world building when I first tried reading it, but I will gladly try again. And I will be pairing this with a sunset that you watch, as we get a lot of like dark orangey sunsets here, and the cover is dark orange, and so I'm hoping those two things will match. The next prompt is Lost and Found Family. So basically a book with found family, and I'm stealing the one that Cassidy used for hers because it's my favorite series of all time. So we're going to be going with The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent, which is the next book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. Now, I did not absolutely love The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, the last one, but I'm hoping that this one will be better. I'm just hoping that the payout will be a lot better, okay? And I did pair this with Literary Girl Walk. This is a book that I could see like reading on my kindy at the gym on the elliptical. Like I see that future for myself, and so that will be what I will be doing for that one. Next prompt was Road Trip with Your Enemy, essentially enemies to lovers. And the book that I chose for that is The Bond That Burns by Briar Boland. This is the second book in the Bloodwing Academy On Wings of Blood series. I absolutely loved book number 1. It's in like my top 5 of the year, and so I very much need to continue on with this. They are definitely still villains at the point in this book, like enemies to lovers, and I'm just so excited to continue on into this world and meet one of my favorite authors at Villains and Vixens this year. Very excited for that. And I will be pairing that with the 24 hours, like read a book in 24 hours, because I'm sure I'm going to devour that once I start it. The next prompt we have is Summer Nights, which is a slow burn book. And so I went with this based off of what I heard people say. If this is not a slow burn, I don't take responsibility for being wrong. And that is The City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. This is a chonker that I've been meaning to get to, that I've been wanting to read for freaking ever. I heard it is a slow burn, okay? I don't know a lot outside of that, but I'm excited to finally get into this world and know why everybody loves Darien Hardcastle. And I will be pairing that with New to You. So it could be new to you in anything, and it is a new to me author. The next prompt is Training with a Fictional Man, a training scene, and the book that I wanted to read, I can't talk about publicly. So I'm going to pick a different book that I didn't realize had this trope. That is The Lies of Lena. I would like to read this sooner than later so I can decide whether I need the Ink Pages special edition. I should actually check to make sure that that hasn't gone away already. That would be a very sad day if it did. But I've heard really great things about this. I've also heard kind of mid things about this. So I'm going to start this sooner and later, and we will know if this is meant for me or not. And the prompt that we're going to go for that is borrow a book, because I'm sure I'm going to read this on my kindy. So we're going to borrow this from Kindle Unlimited. The next prompt is to adopt an animal companion. And so I am going with a book that I need on my TBR anyway, because I have to read it for my TBR jar, and I should catch up with this series already. And that's Heat of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Obviously, the little like Griffin-y character that we have in here, I love so very much. I'm blanking on her name right now, which makes me feel bad. I think it's like I should know. Seriously, I haven't read Glow in a year, and I just can't wait to be back in this world. I know I'm gonna love it. I just love Luther so much. Anyway, I'm not gonna say a lot about this because this is the 3rd book in the series. But I'm very excited to get back into this. And I will be pairing that with a summer bop. It has to match a song that I've been jamming on repeat. And I've been listening to this one song that has the word fire in it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but this matches that vibe. Then we have Accidentally Share a Sleeping Bag, so basically a one-bed trope, and we will be going with Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry, which I actually already started today because I'm doing a buddy read with this with my friend Kelsey. I'm very excited to get to this. I've only read Daphne Perry's romantic suspense, only one of her books, and it was okay, but I've heard that this one is like really good, and so I'm very excited to see what I feel about this. But I've heard it's like an arranged marriage between like a princess. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure it'll be good. I am pairing that with spelling the word summer on the cover. So it has to be able to spell the word summer, and it does. The next one is House Hike Nature on the cover, and so the book had to have nature on the cover. And so we went with A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I'm not gonna lie, this book wasn't even on my radar until Rachel from Raven Haired Reader posted a TikTok of her going to release day to get this. I've not heard about this since then, but it says, it's a dancer turned spy must decide how far she will go to secure her freedom. And it has a beautiful cover, it's stunning, and I want to know what it's about, okay? Paired that with Get Crafty, so I was thinking maybe painting or something to like match the vibes of the cover. The next prompt is Campfire Tales, and it has to have fire on the cover, and so I went with Realm of Thieves by Karina Halley because not only did I want to read that because I loved the last two Romantasies that she's come out with, but I also am reading that for my Patreon book club for July/August, so I have to get to it anyway. And I've heard it's a very unique like dragon situation with like stealing of dragon eggs, dragon egg trade, and so like I'm excited to see what the hype is all about. And I did pair this with a book that was published in the months of summer because this was published in June, I think. Yes. And the last prompt is Just the Heat Wave or Is This Spicy? So it had to be a spicy book. And I went with a book that I needed to read for Villains and Vixens anyway, but it's also very dark, and that is Feathers So Vicious by Liv Zanders. I've heard that this is a very spicy, wide shoes, Raven shifter romantasy, but make it very, very dark and triggering, which is something that I need. And I've paired that with reading outside. I will sit and read that book outside. So that is my plan. So those are all the books that I'm going to be reading for this reading challenge. I'm very excited. I have a lot of potential bangers on this list. If you got to the end of this, let's put a dance emoji because of A Dance of Lies. I'm staring at that right now. Let me know if you're participating in this challenge and if we have any of the same books that we are reading together. So that maybe we could do a buddy read or something. I also want to give a special thank you to my patrons. You support me each and every day, and I love you so very much for it. If you're ever interested in joining my Friends Theme Patreon, there's always information at the bottom of this video. We do extra sprints. We're doing a month-long readathon like right now. We're doing exclusive content, all the things, so go find that underneath this video, and make sure to follow me on all social media platforms at rainybluereads across everything. And with that, my friends, I will see you in a video super soon.